Hey kids, my name is Ashley and I am from Imaginative Libraries. I am going to teach you how to make a tie-dye thank you card and also give you some tips on how to write a thank you card. So to make a tie-dye thank you card, you need three things. You need a piece of white construction paper, the thicker the better for this, Sharpies. They have to be Sharpies, other markers won't work for this, and rubbing alcohol. And I put my rubbing alcohol in a spray bottle, but an eyedropper would also work for this. So to create my card, I'm gonna fold it into quarters. So I'm going to fold it once, and I'm using my fingernail to flatten the edges out. Twice. All right, so I folded it 4 times. I'm identifying this quarter as my front, the front of my card. I'm going to unfold my card. It should look like this, 4 quarters. This is the front of my card. We're only going to color 1 quarter. I'm going to use a paper bag underneath my card because I know that these Sharpies will bleed through onto whatever surface I'm working. I'm also going to recommend that you do this craft outside or in a well-ventilated room because the smells from these markers and the rubbing alcohol are going to be really strong. All right, to make a tie-dye pattern like this, I need to use my Sharpies in a scratch pattern. For this tie-dye card I made, I used similar colors, but I would recommend that you use contrasting colors for this project because the contrasting colors bleed to create new colors at the end, and that makes for a really interesting pattern. So I have yellow. Now I'm just coloring this like scribbles. Big scribbles. They sort of look like sunburst. Now, wherever you put this Sharpie down on your piece of paper, those marks are going to stay, just like the bands of tie-dye. Like when you band your shirts together, there are always marks left over. The same thing is going to happen here. So I'm going to scribble, but I'm also going to be intentional with my scribbles because I know that the scribbles I do are going to be semi-permanent. All right, so I'm going to just scribble it in. All right, I am done. I have left some white spaces on this card, but I've tried to keep it mostly filled in. Now I am going to saturate this square with my rubbing alcohol. You want it pretty wet. I'm going to put it back on my paper bag. Make sure, or try to make sure, that you're not spraying the other 4 squares. If that happens, that's okay, but we want to try to keep the rubbing alcohol on this 1 square. Okay, the colors are already starting to bleed together. I think you can see that. It'll look a little bit like this when it starts to dry. Now, this will take a couple hours to dry and fully bleed together. When it has totally dried, fold your card back up like this. It'll look warped, but that's okay. And then smush it between 2 heavy objects. Last night, I put this between a couple cookbooks and it flattened right back out. Now, let's discuss some tips for writing a thank you card. So 3 things to write a thank you card. I usually write thank you cards when somebody has done something really kind or thoughtful for me. For instance, I had a neighbor make me a tray of bear claws once. Bear claws are one of my favorite treats. It was really special and thoughtful, so I wrote her a thank you card that went something like, thank you so much for the bear claws. I love bear claws. I really enjoyed eating all the bear claws. It was so special that you did this for me. Thank you again, Ashley. It went sort of like that. So 3 tips for writing a thank you card. 1 is be direct. So address your card, say, Dear Sue or Dear Tammy, whoever you're giving the card to, direct your card, but also be direct. Specifically say what you are thankful for and why you are thankful for this. 2 is be specific. Use specific language. If somebody gave you a tray of bear claws, say, thank you so much for these bear claws. They tasted so sweet. I deeply enjoyed eating them. It was special that you did this for me. Something like that. I am using direct language and I'm using specific language. And the 3rd thing is, in order for your language, or not your language, your card to best represent you and your gratitude, use whatever language you're most comfortable with. If it is a simple and direct note, that's good. If it is a little bit longer and you really go into the details of how special you were made to feel after somebody did a kind thing for you, that's also great. Your thank you card should be representative of how you feel. So be direct, be specific, and use whatever language you use, or whatever language makes you feel most comfortable. So those 3 simple tips make great thank you cards every time. And I don't think a thank you card is ever unwelcome. I think everyone enjoys getting a thank you card. I especially do. So have fun with your tie-dye project. This also works for white clothing if you have some white clothing. It's not permanent tie-dye though, so if you do this tie-dye project on some white fabric and you wash it, it could fade or wear out, but it does make for an awesome thank you card. Thank you for watching. Have fun tie-dyeing and have a good weekend. Bye.